Alrighty, thank you so much, you guys, for joining us here at Alberta Impact in regards to the Edmonton Unlimited Startup Week and Launch Party. We've got Nina and Aga here from Good Goods Company. Some really cool initiative that you've put together here. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you guys have a really busy schedule.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Awesome. So let's go through a little bit about what Good Goods Company is. Maybe we'll start with Aga. You want to give us a little rundown of what it is you guys are doing?
Yeah, for sure. So Good Goods Company is about making good brands from across Canada easily accessible. And it's accessibility to the consumer from a direct-to-consumer side, so you can come shop online or in store. But we also support brands in expansion, market reach, connecting them with independent and boutique retailers and corporate partnerships. So in essence, we're just really trying to make socially responsible brands a default, a norm in everyday conversation and purchasing.
That's awesome. And you're giving consumers good peace of mind as well, knowing that these have been vetted and that they're proper ethics and so forth, which is super cool. And I know that's a massive thing, in this world of ESG and some of these emerging topics of importance for, how we conduct ourselves in society. Products and delivery is a big part of that. So, Nina, maybe we'll talk to you now. What about, how did you guys come together? Where did this all meet up and the brainchild come, and take us a little bit through that journey?
So it actually started in 2019 as a refill market. And I actually was just loosely involved at that time as one of the vendors that was at the market, enjoying the idea and the vision of what having less waste and consumerism could look like. Now, if you fast forward, we remember that 2020, it was a difficult start for all of us because that's when the pandemic hit. And very quickly, the conversation came into everyone's immediate priority list is, how do I support local? We saw the devastating impact that an entire economic shutdown can have on people. We saw things from people having trouble getting the equipment that they needed, the packaging that they needed, the products that they needed because shipping was shut down, right down to consumers just simply were adjusting how they were shopping. So Aga came to me and kind of had a conversation, just basically, do you think that we can make a platform that basically elevates the people in our community, the brands in our community, the people that are the makers and shakers that make a difference? And I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. So basically, over the weekend, Good Goods absolutely blossomed into the start of a very, I would say, groundbreaking approach to supporting better business practices. And although we started with a hyper-focused approach, making sure that we were really working on our community, making sure people survived, making sure people had what they needed to be successful, pivoting on their behalf, elevating people where we could. And from there, we spread out across Alberta. We started to really, really hone back to those roots of purpose-driven brands. And now across Canada, we work with brands that are doing something more than just making money. They're doing something good for the people or for the planet. And from there, the limit, it's limitless potential.
Absolutely. And community, I mean, we all know when you get into the smaller business communities and people that are trying to be grassroots and home-based, the community is awesome. They're such a great people and they're super enthusiastic. And we can see that in, you ladies as well, just how passionate you are about this entire topic, and it's absolutely great. So how was the uptake? Like, once you kind of got out there and you start pushing the marketing, tell me about the reaction.
I mean,
and then you want to take that?
Yeah, sure. I'll take a part of that. I think the uptake initially during that COVID onset was more than we could handle, which was a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I think people typically plan for the worst to happen and don't always plan for the best to happen. And I remember just like sitting at home and seeing the uptick. You kind of get data points through various platforms and you get to watch your impact real time. And it was incredible because we got to help a community that we were, really invested in. It was honestly a lot of, City of Edmonton entrepreneurs and small businesses that we've built relationships with over 5, 6+ years. And we were lucky enough to work with them and help them navigate an extremely uncertain and unforgiving time. You kind of made the wrong decision and your company could go under. That's how real it was. So it was a emotional roller coaster, I think, to be participating in that. And you did sometimes see some people who didn't necessarily make it through or had a harder time than others. And that was an incredible journey for us. And that's why I think we're pushing so hard to continue this and have impact beyond just our community, because community stretches across globally. I mean, we feel it here, but everybody has the same respective value sets that are within their own communities. So how can we stretch what we did here across Canada? And, maybe one day we'll take over the world with that emotion, but that's kind of, I think, what drives us every day. I know we're both very community oriented, and it might sound like we use the word a lot, but it's because it's embedded in everything we do.
Yeah. Well, and you're entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs, and we're seeing more and more of that, specifically after pandemic and during the pandemic. But we really, it's beautiful to see this coming together. So that's sorry, I cut you off there.
No, I think there's also a little bit of a lag, but I would also add to that. I think this experience has also been very validating, because a value set that Aga spoke to that's very near and dear to us is community betterment. And when we started building this company, we really did start to see that people shared those values. There's value in the energy that we're putting into it. We know that 1 in every 2 Canadians wants to see a company that takes a stand on an impact. And we also know that 4 out of 5 Canadians already shop with brand values in mind. So I think it's a very validating journey as we go, and there's lots of work to be done, but it's worth the energy.
Absolutely. So now, with you starting the company and trying to figure out, all right, what are the next steps? How do we get our marketing out there? How do we get our messaging out there? Or how do we formulate our message so that people understand this? How was that process for you? And who did you end up going to for any help if you needed it?
I would say we're still making sure that we're understood in the right, I would say, framework, because I think a lot of people get turned off by the idea by having to be perfect. And so it's a theme that comes up over and over again, in that people feel so disheartened by the fact that there's so much negative narrative on the effects of consumerism. And we know that, we've all heard it. And it is a lot of work that needs to be done. But what we're trying to do is make sure that people understand it's not about being perfect, and it's not about having a 100% track record. And what we're doing is simply creating less friction to making choices that align you with better business practices. That's it. It's about making sure each small incremental decision, each purchase moves us all collectively towards a better outcome.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I would add to that is we also rely on the community that we're helping, essentially, where our platform creates an interesting energy for brands, because as they come on board with us and partner with us, they bring their respective communities, that then sheds light on brands that didn't participate in that community because it's of regional expansion, or simply your Instagram algorithm isn't set to be looking for them, right? We're hopefully exponentially influencing individuals' brands' positive exposure while creating what Nina just spoke to, is incremental changes, small or large, have collective impact and influence.
And so then, do you guys have a checklist that you guys are looking at and referencing to make sure that everybody is staying on the same path?
Yeah, I would say, a checklist, or something that we look at brands to self-disclose. So when they do onboard, we have optional self-disclosure around equity deserving groups. So you can choose to disclose or not. That's totally up to the brands and how they want to, essentially how it feeds into a filter on the site. Some people don't always feel comfortable with that, and that's totally fine. The other component of it is speaking to a value set of, like Nina said, for the people or the planet. And that can be anything from staff betterment programs to community organizational support, or sustainable packaging, or supply chain transparency. So there's quite an array of things. I think as long as you're working towards something of positive impact, and you can display it, and we can audit what that looks like, so that we are a vetted resource, we will work with the brand.
Right on. That's
so another thing to add to that too is, like we said earlier, it's not about the consumer having a perfect track record or everything they do has to be perfect. It's those incremental pieces. And what we do know is that having a business value set that earns more than just money, somebody who's really trying to focus on the people or the planet, those are very expensive things to do. And when you're a small business, there are so many barriers to you being able to be successful. So we're not demanding a lot of big efforts from our brands. We're looking for people who are making a difference, and we're having an opportunity to open conversations on where more differences can be met. We're having people connected so they can learn from each other. And what we're working to do is, as a consumer, one of our future states will be, if there is a value set that is important to you, then you should be able to filter on the website those brands that meet those standards. And so something as simple as I want to have a woman or a business owned by women, or a woman, you'll be able to eventually sort by that. So this is part of our internal business expansion and goals, and we're building towards being able to empower consumers to shop within those interests.
Yeah. Very cool. And so then when you did your company growth, you've obviously caught the attention of some people, because here you are with Edmonton Unlimited in the startup week, and you're going to be pitching here at the launch party. Maybe take me through a little bit about your interactions with Edmonton Unlimited and how they supported you, and how they've gotten you to this point.
Yeah, it's been a really great process. I mean, we applied, and they have, alumni that resonate with us: Jobber, Poppy Barley, Drivewise. We are all enthusiasts of those brands, and perhaps shoppers of those brands. And I think it was an honor to be, amongst those names, and then also our peers. It's incredible to have the opportunity to see what other people are doing in your city, and in your community, and it's very inspiring. I think Edmonton Unlimited has provided great feedback for us. I mean, we recently did a pitch trial yesterday, and it definitely shed light on, like you know your business, but will others know what you do?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, tons of fun.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's all about communicating the message of what you're trying to say without confusing someone that maybe has no clue on what this all entails. And yeah, that's awesome that they were able to help you guys with that. And we're excited to see you here next week at the launch party and doing your pitch. And so congratulations on all the success, and all the best for future success. I think what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing, and it's going to go a long way. We're always looking and loving to see entrepreneurs supporting entrepreneurs and expanding what Alberta and Canada is and can be, and the great things that we have here to offer. And there's some phenomenal talent and awesome products, and you guys are helping expose that to the world. So thank you for everything you guys are doing, and congratulations.
Yeah,
thank you.